Michael Hayden is among millions of British adults eligible for the government's flagship welfare scheme, Universal Credit. Currently unable to work, Michael doesn't have a bank account. His benefits are paid through the post office. For him, it's inconvenient and leaves him with little control over how he accesses his money.
People should be able to access bank account regarding their situation so that it could give them a sense of pride and maybe to give them some way that, you know what, I own a bank account and maybe this is the start for a future and for those who want to gain employment in the future.
But this might be about to change. Under a new law, EU states must provide from 2016 a basic account with fair fees that will give people like Michael reliable access to a local bank. Now Sky News can reveal that some of the UK's biggest lenders are at loggerheads with the Treasury about how it will work. Sources say the Chancellor, George Osborne, is keen to unveil a deal with the banks, potentially as soon as next week's autumn statement. Treasury officials are pushing for the account to be available to all 7 million people expected to claim under the Universal Credit Programme, to be entirely free of fees and charges, and to include the ability to withdraw cash across the ATM network and in branches. The big banks already offer basic accounts, but many of them include charges and restrictions on their use. They argue that while the new service may be socially necessary, operating it in the way the government wants would lose them huge sums of money every year.
Not having a bank account is not only about the amount of money that you lose by not making savings on things like direct debits. It's also the fact that if you don't have a bank account, it's very difficult to get into work. It's very difficult to carry out normal everyday life.
Some banks also want to be able to transfer basic account holders to more lucrative products if their circumstances change. That's something the Treasury is said to oppose. Giving millions of less well-off consumers access to a standardised, no-frills account could help to repair the image of an industry battered by pay and mis-selling scandals. But the banks warn that being forced to do so at a loss will simply mean that other customers end up paying for it. Insiders say the Treasury is close to a deal that will finally enable people like Michael Hayden to open a conventional bank account. But even if the industry ends up bowing to Mr Osborne's demands, it will require further change for it to earn credit from a sceptical public. Mark Claimants, Sky News.